Right, in this, we're talking about how to create intimacy in our relationship in marriage. Okay, so we talk about communication, how we can better communicate with one another. We talk about problems, how we can resolve problems, conflicts better. And also another area that we need to understand is we need to know and accept there are differences. In man and in woman, there is a gender differences. There's a differences in our temperament that God has created us. There are different experiences that we come from. Okay, so there is a lot of differences that we have with one another. So we got to recognize it so that we will know how to accept some of these differences, work through some of these differences so that we have a better relationship. So in this section, we want to understand some of these differences. First of all, the gender differences. Men's needs basically are not so complex, it's simpler. Men need to feel, there's a need for faithfulness, to know that the woman that he loves will never sell him out, will love him. Men needs of support and submission, the assurance that his wife will follow him, and they will be able to move on together in life without constantly questioning him, suspecting him, right? Men need encouragement. They need sympathy and support from the wife, understanding from the wife in good times and in bad times. Men need to feel a sense of importance, the status, value in giving advice and making plans. Men need to be respected, feeling of being held in high esteem, privately or publicly. So, men need to feel that they're competent, they can do things and finish the work with confidence. Men need a partner, someone with whom they can share their life with. So these are men's needs. What about women? A woman's needs are more complex. Their needs and desire are a lot, and it fluctuates sometimes. A woman needs someone to be able to listen to them well, right? They have a lot of things to share, to talk about. So the husband, they need to feel that is able to be interactive, listen to them, and empathetic to what they are saying, even though they are saying a lot. And they talk about petty problems, but they want you to take it seriously for discussion and sort of difficulties that they face, to be able to resolve it, to help them to resolve it. And women need regular and more communication. They want this kind of attention and interest from the other partner. Besides, just the other person wanting to have a sexual relationship. So she wants to feel loved by the person, not be made an object of sex by the other person. Women need to be appreciated, to be thanked, to feel that gratitude for what they have done. And when the women are talking, they need to feel that you're interested in what they're saying, whether it's real interest or apparent interest, it doesn't matter, but you are just interested in their days, in what they want to share, in their dreams. And women want a demonstration of affection and courtesy in front of others. They want to feel a part of their husband's life, and they want you to remember the little things, their birthdays, having a little gift for them, just small things that they feel that you remember them, even though to you it's just a small thing. And they want you to spend quality times with them to talk about their problems, talk about what they have inside. They want you to include them in their life, in their planning, to be involved in things. And they want to be understood. They want to feel the sense of closeness and tenderness that you show to them. They want help with the children. They want verbal expressions of praise and cares and affirmation and acceptance of who they are, where they are at this moment, giving permission for them to fail, to be imperfect, but yet you affirm them at this time, right? And they want more family times, outing, vacation together as a family. So we see that there is just some differences in men and women, and then the differences with temperament and our personality, right? Some are extroverts, some are introvert, some are feeler, thinker, doer, different kinds of temperaments that react differently. So we need to understand so that we can better relate to one another. Our differences in upbringing, our background, so that create different kind of belief system, so we get to have a better understanding of where we come from, how we feel and how we react as a result of those background, so that we can accept one another better. And how do we deal with conflicts when we face with this kind of differences? Our attitude should be, we are the change agent. So we help the other person to grow, to change, by first of all, we change ourselves. We change our own attitude. We change our behavior rather than demand the other person to change. So we see that we are the change agent. So we want to be responsible for our own changes. Okay, so the first thing is we are responsible for our own attitude, how we look at this problem, how we deal with things, right? We cannot be in control of our circumstances, of the situation, but we can be in control of our attitude, our thinking, how we look at things. So we change our thinking, then we change our behavior, we change our action, okay? Because attitude affects our action. And we must understand that we cannot change the other person, but we can influence the other person for change. Because we're in a relational situation. Men are relational beings. We are affected by those we mix with, those we talk to. So we realize we cannot change the other person, but yet through our relationship, through our communication, we can be an influence to the other person in order for the other person to change. And our action must not be controlled by our emotion, right? We have spontaneous emotional feeling, but we must not allow our emotion to take hold of us and control our action, but rather we need to control our emotion, how we feel through our thinking, so that we can change our action. And then we must recognize our imperfection. It doesn't mean that just because we are not perfect, we are a failure. No, that's not true. So, to take a first positive step towards a positive change in our life is to acknowledge our behavior, is acknowledge our imperfection, and deal with it in an appropriate way. So you have to acknowledge it to yourself and also to your spouse. That will prepare the way for a positive change in your life. That will be the right step towards maturity in our life. Okay? So love is a very powerful weapon. So to be able to love and be loving in our words, in our behavior, will be able to bring about changes in our environment and in our spouse. So I trust that with this lesson, you can see the differences that we have as individual, as male, female, and when we begin to understand the differences, that resulted in the conflicts and the problems that we face in marriage, and also to recognize that we cannot change the other person, but we can change ourselves. We're in control of our attitude. So we have to change our thinking so that our action will be different. So by dealing with ourselves, and we will be able to grow, we'll be able to mature, result in a better relationship, greater intimacy in our marriage. So may we work at it. It's a lifelong process to work at it. So hopefully we will be growing and become better and better as we grow in our relationship. Amen.